So before we go on the stream, Davian, take those glasses off, please. Thank you. Right. I don't know what you thought you were doing there.
I was trying a new look.
We don't do new looks here.
Okay, sir. Understood. I'll know my place. No glasses.
We do old crusty looks here.
Yes.
So like it says on your shirt, chill. We're here to discuss She-Hulk episode 5.
Yes, we are. And dude, why is your hair looking on fleek today? Like, did you
I've
go
just
to
got
the
shower.
hairdresser? Oh, you just did? Okay. Looking just slick. Just done it up.
Somehow I managed to get out the shower and still be here on time.
Yeah, I'm going through a tunnel. I can't hear you. Repeat.
I saw a Tory MP do that the other day on BBC One News.
Did he?
Yeah, he just like asked him a question about poverty, and he just looked at the camera like, "Oh, I didn't hear the question. Sorry." So yeah, episode 5. What did you think of episode 5 of She-Hulk?
I thought it was good. It was a nice filler.
I think it was a filler episode. I think that's a very nice way of putting it.
Yeah, I think it was nice in the sense that, you know, again, I think it shows just how diverse in terms of how things can be in reality. Because when we always see superhero movies or shows, it's always intense. There's always they're just so unlucky that anywhere they are, they could be in the local supermarket buying, you know, mac and cheese or something. As they go up to the till, 16 burglars with, you know, armored suit and what's not coming there to rob that particular till that they're at, and they have to stop it, even though they weren't prepared. So I think it's good to see that they still get, you know, even people with powers will get regular problems, what regular everyday people would actually get.
I think this is what She-Hulk does, and if you read the comics, this is what She-Hulk is about. It's about poking fun at yourself, and it's about just exposing like the more kind of mundane, like all those questions you always ask yourself about superheroes. Like, do they go to the toilet? You know, does a superhero really need to actually work out in their office? Which toilet is the one where you can go and do number 2 in without the rest of the office knowing what you're doing? You know, this is what She-Hulk does. It does kind of poke fun at itself in that way. So yeah, essentially this episode was about Titania and her lawsuit. She is claiming that the name She-Hulk is in fact hers, and this is essentially what the entire episode revolved around. But we saw some, again, on the surface, it didn't seem like a lot happened in this episode, and I think compared to last week's episode, probably not as much, but it was still a decent episode. But a few things did happen which we can discuss.
Yeah, I think in a sense, I think even though it was a filler, I think a lot happened inside it. I mean, I just haven't really had time over the weekend. I'll probably try and watch certain part. I just want to see, because I think there's a lot more in there that we didn't actually get to see. Like, you know, when she's literally getting, you know, her suit made. I think there's a lot of Easter eggs inside there if we probably was to really look through
it. Luckily, I've done my research so I can talk about those Easter eggs. Probably be useful if you rewatch those parts before we go on do the stream. That would be probably better than leaving it the day afterwards.
No, I mean, I did see, you know, obviously the obvious one, but I'm just saying, I'm probably sure there may be, if they were to really explore that, there might even be a lot more hidden gems inside there that we haven't actually seen, that they didn't show.
So there's a few cute bits to begin with. We see there's like a need for She-Hulk to improve her wardrobe. Pug, who's actually becoming fast, one of my favorite characters in the show, talks about his trainer collection. You know, he always buys 2 pairs because he rocks one, then he stacks one. And there's Iron Man 3's coming out. What have you missed? Just me telling off Davian for
probably in 1 minute late.
Yeah, which was justified. That's all we've missed. So we've got the Iron Man 3s, which is a cool concept, and I mean, it makes sense. I mean, in the real world, if the Avengers and stuff were real, I'm sure clothing companies would start trying to get sponsorship deals with and the rights to start using superhero names and
Yeah, that now now that you mentioned that, and he's mentioned the Iron Man 3s. I mean, has Iron Man copywritten his name?
I don't know. Maybe
Is he owed some money from those Iron Man 3s?
listen. Pepper Potts is a very astute businesswoman. I'm sure she's all over this and is making vast amounts of money for Stark Industries.
Like a loan shark, she's there calling. It's first of the month. Yo, I want. Where's my check for those?
Listen, yeah, do not mess with Rescue. But so essentially, they're looking for a costume designer for She-Hulk. So they go to this shop where you've got to, like, be a bit secretive, and he'll lead you to where it is. And we see first it take them to this kind of back room. We've got all this knockoff bootleg Avengers merchandise, which was just hilarious.
I would rock one of those, those Avengers top, because at first glance you probably wouldn't even notice. You think, oh yeah, it's Avengers.
I mean, I can believe that. I can definitely imagine you're the type of person who wears knockoff designer clothing.
Nah, I don't like designer. I'm me. I'm free.
You're right. You probably are the fourth worst dressed member of the Layman. Oh, third worst. Sorry, there's only 4 of us.
There's 4 of us. Who's worse than me?
He's in Mexico right now, shall we say?
Hola, Rahul.
Yeah. So I thought that was quite a nice touch, and then we actually get to the chance to visit said designer. It's not exactly Pastebot Pete, but we get it's like a very cool place, and there are some Easter eggs in there. We see Frogman walking out of there with his costume.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
That was a very subtle hint of Frogman with his costume. So we do know that Frogman is going to appear later on in this series. So, but that was our first glimpse of him, and let's just go to it now. At the end, when Jennifer goes to pick up her costume, Tinsley knows nothing about GDRP, knows nothing about customer confidentiality. Just leaves Daredevil's helmet, mask, just lying in the middle of the shop. Open.
Well, maybe the reason why he's probably like that is because he only deals with high range, or should I say, high ranking individuals. So therefore, everyone's on the same level. So therefore, there's nothing to even worry about. I think it's probably one of those ones where he's got his trademark logo on his stuff that he actually makes. So therefore,
yep. Carry on talking. I'll do that.
Yeah, I was reading that thing. Yeah, sorry. He's used to that. So therefore, one of his, say Iron Man is wearing one of his suit, that was made by him, and She-Hulk comes in, he'll look and they'll be like, "Oh, you got yours at so yeah. How you know? Yeah. Oh, same thing too." So it's like they already know, because it's only for a certain demographic he actually caters to. And that makes me, as that happened now, I just start thinking, I'm like, I wonder who would have done like the villains, like like the Thanoses. Where do they go to go get their fashion? Do you have
I'm sure there's very good tailors in the universe.
That's what I mean. Like, is there like a villain?
Great tailors on Titan.
Yeah, like a villain fashion, a fashion guru over there that, you have to be the top of the range. You can't just be any middleman villain. You have to be like top of the range villains, conquerors that can come there, "Oh, yes, sir. Duke, Thanos is here for his 3 o'clock fittings." Thanos is there complaining, "Yeah, I need to hurry up, mate, because, I've got a galaxy to go conquer at 6 o'clock, followed by dinner and drinks at 7. Okay, I've got your stuff ready to go.
Indeed. So, my brother just wants to drop a little knowledge fact on us.
Wait, pause. You just changed I noticed that now. The name is changed up in green.
Yeah, it's because we're doing She-Hulk, so I've done it in green.
All right, nice.
History in the 70s, when the Hulk TV show was being aired, Stan Lee got wind that the TV company wanted to intro a female Hulk. Thus, the rights would go to the TV company. So She-Hulk was born in the comics before TV. That's why we love Stan Lee. He was always ahead of the game. You were 10 minutes late. It's okay. Your blood. I don't tell you off for that. He's
jumping on.
Huh?
Is it jumping on?
No.
Oh, I thought he was going to jump on.
No.
Come on, Bav, what are you hiding?
No, not after last time. No one likes a first commenter. Bavik, what do you mean? Bavik, what do you think of Jameela Jamil? I know you've got feelings for Jameela Jamil. I know that you plan to one day possibly marry Jameela Jamil. Let me know what you've thought of Jameela so far.
I want to know, more importantly, how much are those Iron Man 3s? What are the prices for a pair of those? Is it like the Yeezys?
Your thing is Star Wars. That's fair enough. And you are very good at Star Wars. I'm sure they're quite expensive. Iron Man 3s. But you've seen Daredevil. Daredevil is here. Daredevil is interestingly not on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast. I think that's the first thing to point out. So there's going to be a question to be asked. Why is Daredevil on the West Coast and the East Coast? Has he got maybe a gold suit because he's on the West Coast, and the West Coast is a bit more kind of, I don't know. It's a bit more kind of glamorous, you've got a, it's
Bring it up.
Yeah, it's a different world, isn't it? It's all about that celeb lifestyle on the West Coast. So maybe Daredevil's like, look, I can't be rocking my red costume in LA. The colors are a bit too bland for LA, for the West Coast. I've got to go for gold because then I'll fit in. Jameela Jamil is amazing. She's literally taking the piss out of all social media influencers. Are you aware of her body positivity movement she's doing? I'm not aware of a body positivity movement, but I do know she's a very cool woman, and that is exactly the type of thing I could imagine her doing.
Okay,
but yeah,
I know we're slightly digressing, but what is body positivity movement?
So it's just like she's just promoting that people don't need to be ashamed of their bodies, no matter what kind of shape they are.
Okay.
Yeah, because we do live in a world right now where everything's been photoshopped. People go on Instagram and they're only seeing pictures of people from certain angles, and it's giving people
or filter, and then when it's in person, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's giving people like a false. There are people getting down about their bodies when actually it's just a normal everyday body, and what you see on Instagram isn't real. Yeah, as in Jameela. Yeah, don't worry. I did clock that. But yeah, so it's called Titania. She seems to be kind of mimicking. She's like a bit of a Kim Kardashian character, isn't she? She's ripping the
she's a provocateur. I think she just likes to, just like she's like a troll, but making money off being a troll. Because the fact that you've got no rights, there's nothing about you that says She-Hulk, and you're gonna literally just take someone's name just to get under their skin, just because they defeat you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. But she's typical of modern day kind of social media society where everybody's jumping onto something, trying to make something of themselves. Yeah, she's a superhuman influencer. She saw She-Hulk was the biggest thing. She was probably the biggest thing trending on social media. So she was like, I'm going to have a piece of that. And I'm going to own that. I'm going to make it mine. How many people see a social media kind of trend going, jump on it and try to make it look as though it's their own?
True. A lot of these people that's just got no.
So she's amazing. So character Titania is amazing. It's a total kind of twist from Titania from the 80s comics, who was essentially somebody who got her powers from the Power Broker, I believe. Kay will probably correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And I think she might have even been like a female pro wrestler, if memory serves me correct.
Oh, okay.
It was like this entire, because pro wrestling was big in the 80s, there was like this entire pro wrestling, superhuman pro wrestling federation as well in the 80s in the comics.
Oh, that's
weird.
That's actually really cool.
It was weird. I don't want to talk about it. It was the dark side of comics. Ding, ding, ding. Davey has hit the nail on the head. I mean, I mean, there's a first for everything, isn't there?
Well, it's been a few firsts of me dropping them gems and them dimes. So, you know, yeah.
They're few and far between, to be fair.
But when they do come through, they are worth its weight in gold. But no, I think it's, in a way, like you said, if the characters been altered based on how it was in the 80s, I think it's a good twist, because I think sometimes in order for you to actually give certain characters life, breathe life into characters, you have to have like a little twist to them to go with the current demographic of audience that you're actually appealing to. So I think it's actually great when you actually do that.
Yeah, I don't think the Titanic characters from the 80s would have worked in the modern day kind of wouldn't have worked in the modern day setting. I'm just finding
they did this. They did the same thing, like you said, with Moon Knight, isn't it?
Yep.
Where, you know, the actual antagonist of the whole series was not even really didn't have really that big a role in the comics, but they've just like flipped it on its head, and that character has now got life to it. Like, where you're like, oh wow, you're thinking he's actually bigger than what he was because of how they actually done it, which is great. Because sometimes when we all have the idea of they're going to use certain villains that you're used to knowing that that person's the villain, there's not really much you can actually do with the story, because you already know, oh, well, this is going to happen. Oh, is that her?
This is Titania from the 80s. So this is how she looks in the 80s.
Kind of looks like Jean Grey-ish.
She
kind of looks like Jean Grey.
Okay, not everybody with red hair looks like Jean Grey.
Dark Phoenix, but in a different costume.
Yeah, but yeah. So interesting. But back to Daredevil. So Daredevil's in the city. He's up to something. Is he here to represent somebody? What do you think Daredevil's here for?
Who knows? Maybe he's actually lobbying for a job in this new superhero law firm. You know, maybe he feels he can do a lot more good now doing this. You know, actually doing a lot of good, and also at the same time could build himself a great ally, some allies, because, you know, being a lonely superhero trying to do all kind of stuff, especially someone like him, doesn't have the greatest like healing abilities or anything like that. So it's only so much you can do by yourself before the bad guys will be like, hang on, if we keep losing to this guy one-on-one, let's not all just take him on. And if you've got some great backups, then it would be great. And I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't really want to see Iron Fist again unless they're gonna revamp the whole Iron Fist character like they've done in the comics, because that series was horrendous. So I wouldn't want to see him come in any of these new series now and just
I think Kevin Feige is just bringing over the people who were successful in their own franchises. I'm really hoping we get to see Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
That's what I was just going to mention, yeah.
I thought they were good. But it does seem as though this Daredevil is going to be a reboot. So it looks like this isn't a continuation of the Netflix series. It looks like this is a brand new Daredevil, and the Kingpin we saw was a brand new Kingpin as well. My brother's going to trademark the Davy P for deodorant. Kate, we want our family to make money, so let's not do that.
You make a hell of a lot of money. Davy P makes you smell fresh.
Nobody wants to smell like Davy P. Makes you
feel cool, and you're always chilled.
Could you stop rubbing your nipples on air, please?
I would have a very strange nipple that goes all the way across chill.
I know. We all know you've got like a weird.
Now, see, it's all about body positivity promotion right here. Yeah?
Well, Jamila Jamil's not here to tell me off, so boo-hoo
Let's
you.
hope she's watching. Shout out to you.
And besides, I heard Jamila Jamil call She-Hulk Shrek in this episode, which wasn't very nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Children online, God's sake, Davian. No nipple pinky.
My hands are in plain view on the desk.
God, this idiot.
What did I do?
You know, we've lost your picture.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know what happened.
So, whilst we're continuing with this preferred view of the stream, so yeah, we've got a Daredevil variant essentially. Oh, God, he's gone. So yeah, this is an entirely new Daredevil. So the Kingpin is a new Kingpin. Obviously, what happened in the Netflix series is still real because it's part of, because it's part of the multiverse. But this is a new take. So this is a new story. This is a new version of Matt Murdock. I'm assuming Disney probably didn't feel comfortable going as violent as Netflix did with Daredevil and Kingpin. So I imagine we're going to see a more restrained Daredevil, which I know is going to upset my brother. But I guess these are the sacrifices we make to have Daredevil and Kingpin from the Netflix series in our MCU. What happened? Davey's an idiot. I'm dying. Should probably call an ambulance in all fairness. As soon as he puts his hand down, he went off visuals. Oh, 1 second, he's back.
I don't know what happened just then. Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't me.
So yeah, I was just finishing off on the Daredevil point that yeah, it's a brand new Daredevil, and it's a brand new story. They're going to start fresh, it seems.
But question on that though, Manny.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be the Daredevil that we know, as in the same Daredevil from that was in Spider-Man, or will it be?
I'll be the same Daredevil from Spider-Man, but this Daredevil is not the same Devil from Netflix, it seems. Charlie Cox said that, yeah, this is season 1 of Daredevil. It's an entirely new thing. So he'll be able to, both him and Vincent D'Onofrio, be able to maybe, slightly change their characters a little bit, have a few changes, a few tweaks to it. I was going to say a few twerks to it, but that wouldn't make sense.
I would personally like Mr. K to ask a question.
Sorry, they're just talking about your bizarre reels
with the camera.
Which one would you like to see, the Netflix version or the Disney version? I mean, I personally love the Netflix version. It's dark, It's broody, it's all the things I love about Daredevil, reflected that kind of 80s Daredevil for me perfectly. But at the same time, I guess there's an argument, something, we've had that Daredevil, so why not have something new now? What do you think?
I think
in the comments as well, Netflix or Disney. Let me know.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, if they're gonna do great writing for the Disney Daredevil, where the story is gonna be just as great, even if the action isn't as intense as the Netflix one, then it will be great. But if it's not, it's kind of like when you see like your favorite artist who was great in their prime, and then they're past their prime, and they're trying to do what they think they're used to, and it's just not the same, and it just damages their brand and just damages just the whole stigma of what you had for them. So I think they have to be very careful, unless they're going to make it where it's not really just for kids. They're going to make it a little bit darker, even the Disney version. So that
we've seen that they are capable of darkness. Like they have Moonlight got quite dark, and
Captain Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, got quite dark, and What If was very dark at times. So there is potential, and it's an 18-episode series, so maybe it is going to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's. I've confirmed for me in the comments. There's about 18 episodes. This series is going to be. So I think it's going to be quite. It's going to be quite an in-depth look into Daredevil, and it's Born Again as well. So it's a really good story. It'll be really good. But in the comments, Netflix.
Exactly, Kay. That's what I'm saying. It has to be 18 as well, Mr. Cato, just like I said. And it has to be a Netflix type story, because the Netflix one was just absolutely amazing. So I think it would be, because again, what will happen is, if they're not careful, if they don't do it justice, what will happen is the usual. You're going to get people online saying, oh my God, it's nothing like the Netflix one. And then what will happen is the Netflix one will become popular again and start trending, because those who's probably new to the whole Daredevil will start be like, well, I want to go see what they're talking about with this Netflix Daredevil. They'll then go to watch that one, and then they'll start comparing. Oh, well, yeah, it's true, it's not as good. So they need to be, I think, just like this. If this is a new trend they're going with, the She-Hulk, where they've got maybe like a dedicated team that's just writing, of hunger writers that's just focusing on this show, So therefore, they're creating the best content that they can, and it's not lackadaisic like most of the other series where it was just there was like an influx of imbalance how it would actually go. Then I think it will actually be great. So I think that's what they'd have to do. Make sure they get a great writing team that's hungry, just like these guys seem to be on this show, where even if there are filler episodes, it's episodes that's actually got something that you can say, well, okay, I can see this kind of makes sense, even though it's,
Yeah, I
the
think they've
trajectory.
got a very big plan for Daredevil. I think it's fair to say. And just to confirm, 18 episodes of She-Hulk. No, 18 episodes of Daredevil. We've got 9 episodes of She-Hulk. Just want to point that out. But no, you're right. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be a more drawn out storyline. I think they're really going to get into the kind of the minutia of Daredevil and
So what
Batman.
do you think? Yeah, speaking on that, Duke, what do you think? Do you think they're going to go 18 weeks, or do you think they'll do 9 weeks where they give like 2 episodes each week?
I
Because
think they'll give,
18,
I think they'll go. I think they might just start with like a double episode and
yeah,
then
because 18 weeks,
go into it.
that's
18
gonna
weeks.
cut into other shows that they've got, and if it's too dragged out, it will be like, yeah. Whereas if you give double episodes, it's not, it's not so bad. Like maybe 2 nights a week.
It's fine. It's fine. One episode a week is fine. But we've had Ozark, which has been once a week. Better Call Saul, which is once a
Yeah,
week.
but
I think they're
yeah,
ready
but
to get into
yeah,
the
yeah, I
nooks
can
and
understand
crannies of the legal side of it.
yeah, but I can understand the Ozark. But you think about it, they've got so much other shows coming out. Literally in terms of for the MCU, I think it would drag. Whereas if you do it,
It all depends till we start watching it. If we
yeah, true.
watch it and it starts dragging, then it starts dragging because of the writing. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. My brother's trying to direct this podcast from his ivory tower back to She-Hulk. I like this episode. To be fair, Cake, there's not a lot to talk about from this episode, so I'm really struggling for talking points. Hence the reason I'm talking about Daredevil.
No, I think it's good in the sense that even it shows that even someone like a She-Hulk. Now we're back to this episode.
No, sorry, I just got to answer this question.
Yeah.
Here's a thought: would you want a Daredevil show as linear or non-linear storyline? So, do you mean like different, like standalone episodes week by week? I would want a mixture personally. I'd want kind of a common theme running throughout the series about Kingpin, just absolutely destroying Matt Murdock. Sorry, him. And then also have maybe like individual cases Daredevil deal with as well.
Yeah. Court cases, just to see his everyday, like a good balance between his regular life as a attorney and also.
Let's talk about Jamelia Jamil. Okay, she was very good in this episode. She's playing the influencer, which is really cool. I really like how it's tapping into like modern day culture and totally ripping the piss out of it, and quite fairly so as well.
Yeah, but unlike most influencers or / internet trolls, she actually has powers. She's not one of these internet trolls be like, yeah, if you're so tough, why don't you come and say it to my face? Yeah, she would destroy you. So I think it's actually good in that sense where it's got that twist. But again, I think going back to what I was going to say about She-Hulk, I think it's great in the sense that it shows that even someone like a She-Hulk, still needs someone to actually say to her, listen, you're not really trendy with the young folk. You're a Brit. You're even though you're the same person. When your personality changes, you're still the same in terms of your appearance, how you look. So you need a look. You need your fashion to actually be a reflection of what you are when you transform. As in, She-Hulk is confident, powerful, intelligent, whereas she still dresses like an office clerk.
Well, this is the thing. It's all about her. She's the opposite to Titania. She doesn't care about what people think, and quite rightly so. She doesn't. Everybody's telling her, "Look, you've got to change the way you dress. You dress awful," and she's like, well, "I don't really care. I just want to do my job." Whereas Titania is the other side altogether. She's all about looking cool, looking trendy, getting on those latest trends. It's a really nice dichotomy between the two.
Yeah, but at the same time, it also shows that even though she's saying that, she still was feeling like what normal people would feel. Like you feel a sense of like, embarrassment in the sense that when they brought all the witnesses, which was all those guys in court, it shows that that guy, the one who, the good looking muscly one, as her attorney says.
Oh, the one you
It
fancy.
was, yeah, the one that she fancied. Yeah, the one who thinks he's me. But yeah, she didn't actually. He didn't actually say he disliked She-Hulk or he wanted to use She-Hulk. He actually liked She-Hulk. He just didn't like Jennifer.
Yeah.
He just did not like Jennifer. That's the problem. And I think, again, it goes to show that even Jennifer could probably get that guy in Jennifer's form if she was more confident, if her appearance matched how she was actually portraying herself when she's She-Hulk. When she's She-Hulk and she's there, destroying demons and sending them back to their realm, she was confident, powerful, whereas Jennifer is just organized. She's
just
powerful when it comes to doing her work.
She's just organized. Like, that's a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing, but it just goes to show that she's very structured. She doesn't know how to be like spontaneous.
These aren't bad qualities. You're making her like she's a bad human being.
Yeah,
she's
no, true. But at the same time, when you're now in this day and age now where social media is just playing so much in people's appearance and how you do to get someone, she's there trying to play the dating game, and she's still there dressed like she used her work profile picture.
My brother makes a great point now. She-Hulk has a powerful exterior, but Jennifer inside, who has the tough interior strength and fortitude to deal with life. I agree. I think what we're going to... I'm going to make a prediction for the last couple of episodes. I think we're going to reach a finale where everybody's going to be reliant on She-Hulk to save the day. And in the end, it's actually Jennifer Walters who somehow saves the day. Because I think people are getting so obsessed with She-Hulk that poor Jennifer's actually kind of like beginning to question, what is my value? Because nobody thought anything of me as Jennifer. Everybody thinks something of me as She-Hulk. That must be quite heartbreaking to a certain degree.
Well, not really, because I think it would only be heartbreaking if she was trying to get people's approval or trying any of that beforehand. But it seems like she's always just been about hard work, and if I work hard enough and do what I'm supposed to do, then, I will achieve what I need to. So she's never really been that concerned. Hence why she dresses how she dresses, because she's not concerned about people's opinion. She just believes that if she works hard.
But she hasn't achieved what she wants to achieve through her skills as a lawyer. She's only achieved it because she accidentally took in Bruce's blood.
No, well, not really, because remember, she was working for, in the sense that she got to the dance, in the sense that before she got Hulk's blood, she was actually working,
she was working for the district attorney, which is a good job.
So that's not no easy feat. That's
just in the background. She's not like a big standout lawyer in the grander scheme of things in LA.
Yeah, true, but she was working for a big law firm. So just to even get to that stage,
so her hard work does pay off, which we're not disputing. But she's not a standout kind of individual, and now she is. And sorry, I just want to show this. This is the troll. My cousin just wanted to show everybody.
Oh, so that's what, a troll emoji?
I actually think is that the troll from Fraggle Rock? Could be. Not sure. But yeah, moving on. That was deep. I do get deep. She only wanted because she's only wanted because she's She-Hulk. Yeah, absolutely. And she's trying to.
Not really. She's only wanted at this firm because they want to push their own agenda. But she had jobs before, and I think had they not blackballed her,
now she's
wanted to get her there.
Social media sensation, and that she only got that job because she's She-Hulk.
Yeah, but remember when we looked at it, we said that she only got that job, yes, because she's She-Hulk, but also because they blackballed her purposely to corner her so they could get her in that role. Had she not,
so she was taken out because she was She-Hulk. All these events have happened in her life all of a sudden because she's She-Hulk.
Yeah, but she had a job before she was She-Hulk. She had a very good job, very good job.
She had a very good job, but she wasn't this big standout lawyer. She wasn't this huge face. She wasn't like a Camila Vasquez kind of personality.
Yeah, but how did Camila Vasquez get there? Camila Vasquez became that because she done the work, as in when she was put on the main stage, she delivered. Jennifer was delivering when she was put on the main stage.
And she didn't deliver as Jennifer Walters. She delivered she delivered the She-Hulk defeating Titania. That's how she became famous.
But no one else could have in that courtroom because everyone was just ordinary
That's
people.
the point, David. That's how she's become famous.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying she was still in a good position in terms of her career where she could have actually, we don't know what she could have.
We've already established that point. But the point moving on from there is that she's only become well known and famous because of She-Hulk. She's getting extra attention now because she's She-Hulk, not because she's Jennifer. And this is the running theme, which is throughout the series so far. Anyway, we're going to move on because I am getting exhausted.
I don't think she's mad about that attention because it doesn't look like she cares about attention. She just cares about the fact that it's now, it's causing an issue in her life. Like, she can't really have privacy, etc.
Different shows to what I'm watching. So back to the comments. Even when it came to the costume designer, he didn't care about Jen or even the She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Just because she was an Avenger.
Right. So it's because it's the in thing. That's why she was popular. Exactly. So it wasn't about what she done. Because again, even as She-Hulk as an attorney, she hasn't really accomplished much.
Nobody cares about Jennifer. But she couldn't go in as Jennifer and be like, oh, she's going to be an Avenger. She could only go in as She-Hulk and be like, she's going to be an Avenger. When she became She-Hulk, the company were getting the wrong attention.
Yeah, but even when she went in as She-Hulk to try and get the appointment, that still didn't work. Remember, her assistant at the line said, oh, she's Hulk. That's Hulk's cousin who's part of the Avenger.
Where is that fat ass rat when you need it? You're right. I should get this fat ass rat to replace this guy on the podcast. He'll probably understand the concept of the show a lot better.
But what's the concept? We're saying we're not disagreeing.
What there hasn't been a main bad guy in this show so far. And I don't think it's going to be Titania either. I don't think Titania is going to come. I think essentially what this show is about is Jennifer on one side. There's my hand. There it is. And She-Hulk on this side. I think essentially this is the show about. It's about Jennifer versus She-Hulk and her trying to accept both personalities and accepting that they can both be equally as strong.
Well, yeah, I think they are equally as strong. Like, I think what you said earlier was sums it up well. I think from what we've seen, because we haven't seen that much of a serious side to She-Hulk to know what, she's capable of in terms of, her strength, her inner strength. Whereas we've seen Jennifer based on what she's going through, losing her job, her life getting turned upside down. So we can say that we've seen that she's delivered on that main stage when that happened. But She-Hulk hasn't actually been in that position for her to actually demonstrate that to say, well, yes, she can or no, she can't. So we don't know exactly how strong She-Hulk is if she was to be put into that predicament.
I don't mean mentally strong, physically strong, intelligence. I think it's all these things she's trying to marry within us. It's like winning the lottery, and you suddenly got to ask yourself, do people like me because of me, or do they like me because of the money? I'm not entirely sure anymore. It's that kind of thing. We have not seen Abomination for 2 episodes. I think Abomination is going to be back. I think there has been a Tim Roth interview where he's actually talked about doing a scene with Mark the Buffalo. So I think potentially could have Incredible Hulk back, and we're going to have Abomination back. I think Abomination is going to come back. I'm sensing that you're missing Abomination and you want to see him. To be fair, I'd like to see Abomination come back as well.
I think he is. I'm sure I was reading something where it's saying a possible rematch between Abomination and Hulk. And I was like, oh, really? So we don't know where it's going to go because no one knows what his agenda is, what he's really up to.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a good guy?
With me as a lawyer. Was she She-Hulk during the preliminary hearing with the dark elf? No, the light elf, sorry, who could shapeshift. Was she She-Hulk or was Jennifer in the courtroom?
No, I'm pretty sure it was Jennifer.
Okay.
Because that's when she was like changing into she changed into the judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That answers your question. So we see the courtroom, and all of the four Tinder dates are all there. Still got that dodgy guy who seems to be asking way too many questions about She-Hulk, and he's actually seems to be a client at the firm which She-Hulk is working at. And they all pretty much rip into her, talking about how, there's problems. But you know what I liked, Davian? After they won the court case, she goes for a drink with Mallory, and Mallory tells her, like, you're better than all those guys. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think, and then she was like, I'm so glad we're friends. And I think, again, that's another great character there that has a lot to offer to the series, right? In terms of her personality and the dynamic, what they could actually have. So that's like another pairing. Like,
have you seen as well, despite She-Hulk now being really popular and Jennifer being really popular as She-Hulk, she's still craving the kind of the acknowledgement of Mallory as well. She still really wants Mallory to be her friend. She's like really cute and really nice.
Yeah, but I think it's because that stems from the people that she actually idolized based on her personality, in the sense that because she's someone who's all about the mind and intelligent and, being strong and, educated women that can do things, she looks up to people, she admires people like that. So therefore, it's someone like that that will actually be like huge for her to meet over any celebrity. She's like, oh, I have the chance to meet like, the most popular person in the world, or, the person who was able to, create, Atom or something. Like, she wants to meet that person because that's what actually like intrigues her, as opposed to fickle.
Jennifer, as we've already stated, Jennifer is kind of all about the hard work and just admiring people for the right reasons. Again, we talk about Titania. She gets admiration for the wrong reasons. And this is why She-Hulk just doesn't like, and Jennifer just don't like her, because she's all about just getting fame for all the wrong reasons, like the Kardashians, like all these reality TV stars. Where someone like Mallory, hard. She's obviously been through law school. She's absolutely killed it. She's well respected in her field, and that's the type of person Jennifer looks up to.
Yeah, and but remember,
it shows like a really good character trait for Jennifer.
Yeah, people with green seem to always have that similar situation. Like Jim Carrey, Stanley Ipkiss, the Mask. When he transforms into the Mask, he's eccentric, he's this and he's that, but that's also his inner personality. That's another side to him that's actually coming out. That's not something that's totally alien. That's actually a part of him. So all this side that we're actually seeing from Jennifer, when we see Jennifer as Jennifer, that's calm, in control, and very precise. And then when she's She-Hulk, like, look what her profile said. Well, as long as you have a king-size bed that's very sturdy. It said something like that. She said something about a very sturdy bed or whatever. That's still her. That's just the side of her that she probably has, like, she's actually withheld for so long, and it's coming out. She don't know how to control it, which is why she's having that conflict with herself, because that's part of her that
she doesn't recognize as part of her personality, but now it's starting to come out.
Yeah, and I think even though she doesn't want to acknowledge it and accept that that's her, you slowly kind of see little things that she knows, oh, you know what, that is kind of me. Because if you don't care, I'm pretty sure it's not the first time her friends have tried to get her to have like a wardrobe makeover, and she's probably never been interested. But now I think maybe deep down part of her is kind of liking the attention that She-Hulk is getting, and she kind of wants some too, which is why even though she resisted briefly, she went to go and actually get the makeover because she wanted that too. But she probably just doesn't want to admit it because she feels like that will make her seem very vain.
Sorry, just an important message here. Important lesson this episode: lawyers are kinky as
followed.
There you have it. That is the lasting lesson from this episode. But yeah,
and her boss. What was going on with her boss? There was like a scene with her boss, and he just seems genuinely like not interested in anything. When she was there talking about getting sued, and he's like he's genuinely not interested in any of that. He's like, you need to fix it.
He just cares about his stuff. Everything else just isn't important. But yeah, I think that was the episode in a whole. I don't think we missed anything. Obviously, Jennifer and Mallory win the court case because they admit that as much as She-Hulk and Jennifer, as much as Jennifer dislikes the term She-Hulk, she did come to accept it. And I think this is an episode where we see Jennifer actually coming to accept She-Hulk a bit more as being part of her persona.
No, I didn't.
Just got you.
You know, with the what Bav says, important lessons. Lawyers are kinky AF, and I said as followed. That's what AF means.
Okay.
That's PG.
The hammer of the law has different uses. Oh God, right.
Bav gonna get us cancelled, not me. I'm innocent right here.
Dear Lord. Right. I think that's everything. I don't know what's going to happen in episode 6. I mean, this was a good episode, but I hope episode 6 isn't a filler episode. I hope actually something happens in episode 6.
Yeah, and there was no end credit scene.
God.
Just like they said.
You can read this one out.
No, I can't see. I'm going through a tunnel.
You are a tunnel. It can pound and also pound. Yes. God, I never want to hear any stories about your private life, Bav. It sounds awful.
I'm staying out of that, boy. That's family affair right there. I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, and just the last bit. So at the end of the episode, where we had all the kind of courtroom sketches during the credit sequence, some cool trainers in the background. There were trainers dedicated to Iron Man, Green Goblin.
Yeah.
There were trainers dedicated to Deadpool. There were trainers dedicated to Speedball. There were trainers dedicated to, I think it was Nova. There were trainers dedicated to Cyclops, of all people.
Yeah, the most hated X-Men ever.
You know something? There is a lot of love for Cyclops on online.
Yeah, but that's it. He's quite hated as well, though. Like a lot.
He is like Marmite. I'm on the hate. I'm on the I hate him side of the barrier, but I'm not a big Cyclops fan. My favorite X-Men leader is and always will be Storm. She is the best leader for the X-Men, as far as I'm concerned.
We all know who my favorite X-Men character is. So.
Okay, we're talking about favorite leaders.
He could have been a leader.
No, he couldn't have. He helped kill the Marauders. He could not be. He could not help be a leader. Little bro Bravik needs some words from Big Brothers. Do you know something, Kay? I'm going to step back as a big brother, and you can handle this one.
It feels good to see someone else going to get the strong arm of the law and a good telling off instead of me. So, Bav, you earned that one tonight.
You know something? We couldn't tell off Bav even if we tried. You could do the worst thing ever. Between me and my brother, we couldn't. We couldn't. We wouldn't be able to look at ourselves in properly.
And if that was me, if I'd mentioned one of them comments there, those innuendos, I would have got the riot act read to me when this stream is done.
Davian.
See, there we go. See, the riot
act. By Cupcake. If you don't know who Cupcake is one of Bavik's favorite rappers on YouTube. I suggest you check out some of the stuff. It is nasty.
Is that a woman or a man? What?
Cupcake is a woman. Very much a woman.
Hey, you can't tell these days.
Okay, that's trainers for
with names.
Trainers for the thing. Yeah, God, yeah, there were trains for the thing as well. I think I really need to look at that properly.
Speaking of that, what you're saying, yeah, that's good. They're coming out with a new Fantastic Four, isn't it? It's in the works now.
Actually, yes, we got 10 minutes before I shut off. So we talk about some of the announcements that were at D23.
Yeah, that was my signal to you to go take it over.
Okay. So yeah, we had the Thunderbolts team announced. Which was very cool. We know who the Thunderbolts are going to be. And I think I got 5 out of 7 right. Was it 4 out of 7? Anyway, I'm pleased with my predictions for Thunderbolts. Just find my brother messaged me when it came out, and my brother was very excited. I'm just looking for the text. I can't find the text. Right.
Well, who are the characters? So who are the actual?
I'm just getting it up on my phone because I know Dowdy texts me as well. So Dowdy. Oh yes, okay, right. So cool. We've got Valentina, who's obviously going to be a Thunderbolt. Ghost, which was one of my predictions as a Thunderbolt, is going to be there. Red Guardian with his stepdaughter Yelena. Winter Soldier is going to be a Thunderbolt, which I'm not entirely happy with. I know he's a Thunderbolt in the comics, but I like to think he's been through his redemption arc in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% keen on him being in there, but hey ho. US Agent, John Walker, and as I predicted, Taskmaster. Despite everybody telling me that Taskmaster's dead and she's not going to come back, Taskmaster is in the Thunderbolts.
What about Zemo?
Zemo is not in the Thunderbolts, which actually links on quite well to a point Mr. Cater made in the last stream about the Defenders, which makes me wonder even more, because Abomination, more importantly, isn't part of the Thunderbolts, which makes me wonder even more if... I just reminded the hammer must pound. Sorry, Bavy, you've totally thrown me off what I was going to say now. It makes me wonder even more. Is Wong putting together a Defenders team, and potentially could we have Abomination in this Defenders team? Maybe have... I'm sure Zemo's going to play a part in the Thunderbolts somehow. Maybe... this is a prediction for Thunderbolts, even though it's like 2 years away. Valentina starts off in control of Thunderbolts and makes them do Black Op style missions, but eventually Zemo's going to take over the Thunderbolts on Valentina by hook or by crook. That's my prediction moving forward.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But what are they going to do? They're going to make it in a movie or a series?
It's a movie.
Okay.
So we're going to see potentially in the movies and the series coming up, which we've already seen in She-Hulk. No, we haven't seen in She-Hulk actually, because Abomination's not going to be a Thunderbolt. But what we're seeing slowly is a lot of the characters. I imagine now we're going to see these characters popping back up, and we're going to slowly see them being recruited by the same way Yelena and US Agent were. I will tell the cake. Don't be a snitch. Don't be a snitch. Don't do that. Don't. No. Sorry, it's family business. It's family business.
I'm saying out. I'm just here for the announcements.
Yeah. And they've announced Fantastic Four. They've got a director for Fantastic Four. They didn't announce the they did not announce the cast yet. So we're still waiting for that. And still nothing about mutants. But Thunderbolts is going to be cool. Yes, the Deadpool trainers. I did mention the Deadpool trainers. So that was very cool as well. But yeah, so that was some cool stuff coming out.
What about, I've seen the trailer for, what is it? Is it
Werewolf by Night?
No, the one with Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson in one of the trailers.
Secret Invasion, yeah. So it was a trailer for Secret Invasion, which looks very cool as well. I'm looking very forward to Secret Invasion. I think that's going to...
What is that? Are they going to do it as a series or?
It's a series. Secret Invasion is a series. I really recommend...
When is the date for that one, or they haven't announced?
I don't know. I think it's going to be end of the year, start of the year.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm looking very...
That one's going to be interesting.
If you haven't read Secret Invasion, read Secret Invasion. It's an amazing story. And there are potentially characters we're watching in these shows who are Skrulls, and they just haven't revealed themselves yet.
I wonder if maybe that's what Wong is putting the team together for.
Potentially. Deadpool, have that. Baron Zemo will be in the end credits of the Thunderbolts prediction. I agree. I think either at the end credits or he'll take over right at the end. I still think Zemo's guiding hand is there somewhere whilst he's doing his cool little dance.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff coming yet to come.
Well,
So I'm
what
looking forward.
I'm very excited about as well. It's like it's a one-off on Disney Plus. It's going to be all black and white. It's really going to feed into kind of like that kind of horror side of the Marvel universe, and potentially setting up a bit of Blade action, maybe. So yeah, that's going to be really cool as well. So some very exciting stuff at the moment. We are going to witness the hammer of this. It's a scroll, Skrull, Bavik, in Secret Invasions. Not the scroll. It's not going to be a piece of paper.
You're talking about scroll. That's something. That scroll you're talking about is more something you'll see in Moon Knight. Searching for the secret scroll.
Yes, all right. We are done. Right.
Yes.
I am exhausted.
I am out. David P.
Okay, cool. Let's do this.